Good evening, David. This is Paul here, and I have your boat. We've had it tucked away for a week or so, a couple of weeks actually. Well, I've been moving my 96-year-old daddy into our house, and now I'm getting back in the saddle. I have prepared you a quote, but I'd like for you to look at this first, and hopefully you'll see this before you see the quote. I guess it doesn't really matter which order, but anyhow, so what you have here is the very last 1960 Chris Craft Sportsman off of the production line. Interestingly, and here's the hull number. It's a it should have been CUA-17-285, and then C for Cadillac, Michigan. Hope you can see all that. Normally it would have been CUA 17-285C, but for some reason they got the 17 first, then the CUA, and then the 285, and C for Cadillac. Okay, so it kind of puzzled the Chris Craft Antique Boat Club world for a few hours until I solved the mystery. And they built both a Sportsman and a ski boat, 17 foot, 1959 and 1960, and they were identical, with the exception of the ski boat had a little fancier windshield, and it had fancier ventilators. It had ventilators that looked more like this, instead of ventilators that looked like this on the back. And essentially, other than that, the boat was this. Oh yeah, the dash was a little bit different. Instead of a upholstered dash, the dash had some 1/8-inch rib, probably gold anodized material, and so a few differences, but the boats were extremely similar. So much so that we had a little bit of an argument as to whether or not it was a Sportsman or a ski boat. And as it turns out, they built both that year instead of one or the other. Some things, it looks like it's been refinished before. This color right here in the center should be more blonde, more golden. When we refinish, we'll do that. And you can take a look at your finish right here and compare it to what your finish will look like when we're done. This is the correct color. This is the correct color for your decks. This is a pre-war color here, so this color won't appear on your boat. Your decks will look like this, with the exception, of course, of the king plank. This is called the king plank, and it'll be blonde. It'll be a kind of a golden blonde. I would suggest that we remove your stainless trim that has oxidized, and then buff your trim. It'll look brand new. There's a little bit of an example right here where there was a strap, and you can see we could actually get it much shinier than this, but you can see where the strap is kind of buffed out stainless. Of course, we'll have the whole sides will also be the correct color, and the bottom is the correct color, copper bronze, and we'll have new copper bronze on the bottom. We'll do your numbers, your registration numbers in gold leaf vinyl. It'll be cut vinyl from like a sign shop, but it'll actually be gold leaf, or let's pretend gold leaf. We can do real, but typically we do let's pretend gold leaf. Your interior is pretty sad, but this is the correct original interior. This is called Tango Red. This is antique white. The piping was Mylar, and so was the Hydem was Mylar. And we can copy those exactly, and copy this entire interior exactly. We've already done that for a 59 ski boat that is based out in San Francisco, and he's winning numerous awards. He's winning every year at Tahoe, and the interior, of course, is perfect. So we've already done one of these. I'd recommend the new fuel tank. The tank will run about $500, and installation and all, plus new fuel lines and fuel filters will run about $1,000. Here's another example of some. This is actually scratched up much worse than when we get done polishing. It'll be much shinier than that, but that's what that that's what that can be brought to. And your transom straps, we'll polish all that, and your spray rails, we'll polish all that stainless. We'll do your we'll take this mess off and we'll do your name right on the transom. Let's see. Of course, we haven't even looked at the engine yet. I haven't even pulled the engine hatch. We'll do a compression test on the engine, and we'll know where we're at on that. And typically, we just detail them, rebuild the carburetors, or carburetor in this case, the generator, the fuel pump, the water pump,